Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Wednesday, June 7th, 2017. Welcome, and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, where we bring you today's top stories, translated into English every weeknight. The National Association of Judges and the Union of Judges of the Republic of Albania have appealed to the Constitutional Court on the law of governing bodies of the justice system. The Association of Judges is asking that the Constitutional Court repeal the conditions for selecting the members of the Supreme Judicial Council as incompatible with the Constitution. More specifically, the Association is asking the repeal of points A and C of Article 7, which say that judges must have exerted the function of the judge for at least 10 years, and they must have a very good evaluation in their two last ethical and professional evaluations before running for members of the Supreme Judicial Council. Judges are asking for the repeal of paragraph 1 of Article 59, stating that the chairman and the vice chairman of the Supreme Judicial Council are elected at the first meeting of the council by the non-judicial members with a simple majority of the members' votes. The judges are asking for the removal of the word vice chairman from this paragraph. Point 8 of Article 62 states that the Commission of Strategic Planning Administration and Budget consists of 2 members who are not judges and 1 who is a judge. The Association of Judges requests the removal of the words 2 members who are not judges and 1 judge member. The same thing is required in point 13 of Article 62, where the law cites an interim commission consisting of 2 members who are not judges and 1 judge member is established in order to review the appeals against the decisions made by the High Inspector of Justice for filing an appeal for termination of investigation against a judge. The Association of Judges has also asked that point 6 of Article 68, point 2 of Article 72, point 1 of Article 157, point 8 and points 8 and 13 of Article 160, point 6 of Article 166, and Section 2 of Article 175 be declared incompatible with the Constitution. The Association has requested the abolition of some points of the law on the status of judges and prosecutors who have been previously appealed to the Constitutional Court by the Union judges. The request was made on May 25th, and this is the 4th appeal made to the Constitutional Court against the judicial reform law, following the appeal that was made against the vetting law and the law on the status of judges and prosecutors. Prime Minister Edi Rama was in the city of Vlore today, where he has received the mandate of the Member of Parliament. Mr. Rama promised Vlore citizens an economic growth of 5% if they gave another mandate to the Socialist Party. The Prime Minister said that the presence of the other parties in the ruling coalition is not a democracy, but they only think of power, stating, "Democracy is not related to bargains. Who comes in the coalitions should come for the program, not for power." The Prime Minister added that the presence of too many small parties in Parliament is not democracy, but instead an auction, as according to him, the small parties are focused on power. The Prime Minister asked for the citizens' votes for the Socialist Party on June 25th in order to continue with the reforms initiated during the first mandate, saying, "We do not want more power for ourselves. We are asking for more power in order to do more for you. We can do many things if we do not rule alone." The Prime Minister continued, adding that the judicial reform and vetting will have a direct impact on the country's economic growth, declaring, "Our objective is to reach a 5% economic growth. This increase means an increase of salaries and pensions and will have a direct impact in the boost of Albanian families' economy. We need justice and administration to reach a 5% economic growth." The Democratic Party chairman Basha was in Mallakaster today, from where he warned of other dismissals in the public administration for anyone who violates the free vote and blackmails citizens. Commenting on the agreement reached with the Prime Minister, the Democratic Party chairman responded to the Prime Minister's statement, who has declared that the agreement aimed at saving the Democratic Party. According to the DP chairman, the Prime Minister was enforced by the Citizens' Union to sign the agreement, declaring, "We have won the battle for real democracy," removing the half of the government's cabinet and having 7 provisional ministers who will implement a changed criminal code, which will imprison anyone who dares to change the citizens' will by changing their vote. They are complaining that 20 or 30 directors are dismissed, but 300 others will be removed if they dare to blackmail citizens. The Old Republic capitulated on May 18th by signing the agreement. The agreement was not a gift. You perfectly know what prompted the Old Republic to surrender and accept the surrender. The United Citizens won this battle for free and fair elections. Speaking of the economic program, the DP chairman said that he is realistic and that he will open jobs for the Albanian people. He promised tax cuts as the first thing he will do as Prime Minister. Mr. Basha promised a reduction of the value-added tax and the removal of oil tax. The chairman of the Libre Party, Blushi, has continued with his campaign called 100 Kilometers. Walking down at the new bazaar area, Mr. Blushi held meetings with the business owners and employees of this area, to whom he explained the program of this party. High taxes were on focus of the conversations the chairman of the Libre Party held with the citizens, promising a reduction of taxes. Another point of the Libre Party's program is the migrants' vote and their representation in Parliament. During his meeting, Mr. Blushi was also in a gas station where he emphasized that the high oil price in Albania is truly abusive and is an open theft to Albanian people. The chairman of the Libre Party promised a significant reduction of the oil price, saying that he will no longer allow the Albanian people to have the highest oil price in the region. The Party for Justice, Integration and Unity continues with its electoral meetings. The PGIU Spetim Idrizi was in the city of Berat today, where he held meetings with his party supporters. Expressing his concern about the Albanian youth, which are leaving the country because it is disappointed by the politics, Mr. Idrizi invited the citizens to vote for the Party for Justice, Integration and Unity, saying, "There's hope as long as there are Albanian people who think like us." The PGIU chairman declared that the division of the country in 12 electoral areas is not fair, as the vote is not equal in all areas. According to Mr. Idrizi, there has been discrimination within cities and their representation in Albanian parliament. The political party's expenses for the electoral campaign for the June 25th elections will be monitored by 24 experts who've been approved by the Central Election Commission. Even though the process has started a little late because of the political crisis, now the Commission has approved all the bylaws. The CEC chairwoman, issuing a statement to local media outlet, had this to say: "The Central Election Commission has asked from the Ministry of Finance an extra fund to implement the recent legal changes in order to make the monitoring of the electoral campaign for June 25th, 2017 possible. After the Central Election Commission publicized the notification, 24 people are interested in monitoring the political party's campaign. The Central Election Commission will appoint the observers as soon as the Ministry of Finance approves the requested fund. Despite the limited time at their disposal, the Central Election Commission has worked with intensity, drafting and approving the bylaws that regulate some aspects, such as the way financial cost is calculated, the service or materials that will be used for electoral purposes during the campaign, the number of activities or services allowed to be used by one party during the campaign, etc. Under the new agreement reached between the Prime Minister and the DP chairman, Clements Guri is the new CEC chairman, and Dinar Biba is the vice chairman. It was announced today that Skanderbeg Square will be open on Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Tirana's mayor, Erion Veliaj, invites all citizens to participate at the grand opening on Saturday. Responding to the critics, the mayor reminded them of the work of the city hall for the new bazaar area and for the playground at the lake park. Speaking of his work as Tirana's mayor for 2 years, Mr. Veliaj said that there is a big difference in the way the city is being managed in comparison with the time Mr. Basha was Tirana mayor. Mr. Veliaj listed the investments made in the capital and promised that he will continue with investments during the summertime. That's all for our English edition this evening. Please join us again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. My name is Cosmo K, and on behalf of OR News, thank you and good night.